that gang just drove up to a herd, beat the horn, and then just got killed. Honestly, what do I do? What do I do in this case? I have a lot of viewers on this channel that are Walking Dead fans that want my opinion on Fear the Walking Dead and The Walking Dead. So you tell me, what do I do when I don't like it? You know what I'm saying? The most challenging thing about doing these videos is when it comes to a part I don't like. Because what do? Do I lie? Do I not say what I don't like? Do I shut up? Knowing that there's a decent chance somebody from the cast or crew could watch this and think I'm a massive dick. What do? Do I not say I dislike it? Do I not say that Fear the Walking Dead, in my honest opinion, is a 4 out of 10 at best at the moment? And it should, and it could do better. Should and it could. And I don't know if I should be honest and say that, or just talk about what I like and highlight only that, only the positives. But then, is that a really honest review? I don't know. I'm curious about that. So I'm going to put this in front of the video, and then I'll warn you right now, the video is pretty negative. And again, I want to enjoy this show. I want it to be good. Right now, I'm going to let you guys hear what I talked about. Welcome to Make a Path Presents. I'm Ronnie Hayes, and today, let's talk Fear the Walking Dead, Season 2, Episode 8, Grotesque. I believe that's the title. Anyhow, listen, for those who are curious about this hashtag Fear the Fair Use, I'm going to get right into the review, and I'm going to save that information and also explain why this review is late at the end. I'm going to save all that for the end of the video, and that will also explain why you don't see any images or much editing at all. That will all be explained. I'm going to save that for the very end for those who really want to know what's going on. That way you don't got to sit through 3 or 4 minutes of me babbling before I get into the review. With that said, let's jump right into the review. Boring! Listen, I heard so many people saying, not so many, but I heard a lot more than usual about comments from people saying, oh, so amazing, and I got really excited. For once I was like, okay, I might actually really like this episode. Nick is one of my favorite characters so far, or at least he's getting up there, you know? As far as all the actors are concerned, to be honest with you, I liked them prior to their roles. Almost all of them, except for Alicia and Strand. I'm not familiar with those two. But when it comes to like Kim Dickens or Travis, when it comes to those two characters, and Nick a little bit, just a little bit here and there, I already knew of their work prior. And also Danny Salazar. I was really excited for him being in the show, and I still feel like he is in the show. But anyway, this episode, when I heard a bunch of people saying it was amazing and they loved it, I was really excited and I started watching it, and it was just boring. I mean, some of the things that they did, I really wish they would have stayed away from. And I'm talking about the similarities between Fear the Walking Dead and The Walking Dead, like where Nick is walking down the deserted street, and they shot it purposefully to mimic Rick walking into Atlanta, and it matches up. And you know, that's cool if they didn't name that character Nick. It made itself a joke, you know? And I know that's something really little. It is. If it was Travis or something totally different than Rick. You know, we have Rick and Nick walking down, and it's shot the same. Two different, the companion show, the regular show. It makes it a joke in itself. So prior to, and it's something small, but it's something that's important. Because I've seen so many comments where it's just like, Rick, Nick, it's the same. What are they doing? Just mimicking. You know, they're milking it. They're this and that. And that type of realization as a fan watching something, it pulls you out of it, you know? And the steadily decreasing numbers, that shows. I mean, that, you can no longer start ignoring that. For AMC, Fear the Walking Dead is, beating everything else. What do they got? Turn? Do they even get 500,000 viewers? I think they're down to like 450,000 viewers, you know what I mean? Mad Men's gone, Breaking Bad's gone, and I think the average they would do on the best shows on AMC is like 1 million, 2 million viewers. With Fear the Walking Dead did all the work. It built, as far as bringing in the audience, building that audience. The Walking Dead, the original show, built up this audience. And then at that point, Fear the Walking Dead, all it had to fucking do was create an interesting story. That is it. And what they did was they failed. They failed. Season 1 is, and I stood up for Season 1, and I still stand up for Season 1. If you compare Season 1 to just the zombie genre. Damn, that's going to twist my tongue up anyway. If you compare it to the genre, all right, done. It beats the genre hands down because they feed us so much shit. Resident Evil. If you compare it to that shit, it's a win. Season 1 is a win. But the problem, The Walking Dead upped the stakes. With that said, Season 1 is not as good as it should have been or as it could have been. And I think that's objectively true at this point because of the stats. Fans don't want to hate this show. And I see that floating around at times. I want to kiss a brick wall with my face when I hear that because there's probably a few fans that are like that, but it's a small, tiny percentage. If hating another zombie thing because it's not The Walking Dead was the case, I wouldn't be madly in love with The Last of Us. Don't even get me fucking started with The Last of Us. They're sitting on a gold mine, and they're acting like it was, no, yep, that was good. The Last of Us right now, between merchandise, movies, more video games, they're sitting on a gold mine, and the story's there. That's the part that kills it. Spin-off possibilities and potential, figures, possibilities and potential with blind bags and you name it, it's there and they ain't touching it. I feel like they're making just as big a mistake as Fear the Walking Dead is with a storyline that isn't as good as it should be or as it could be. Now with that said, this storyline we have something that, again, it ties in way too similar to what they're doing with The Walking Dead when this is supposed to be something totally different, which is bottle episodes. Man, that's something I cannot stand on the original show. 9 times out of 10, I feel like if you edit it to include it all together, like kind of how Game of Thrones does, where you see Jon up here and this person up here, and it's all over the damn place. But each episode feels so tight because you're getting bits and pieces of everyone's story, and it lingers a little longer. In The Walking Dead, it just feels like there's too much bottle episodes. And now, in Fear, it looks like we're going to be getting an overdose of those bottle episodes, where it's so much of an overdose. In this one, it felt like so much of this was because it was a bottle episode. We have so much of these scenes that really at the end of the day don't matter. And why they don't matter is for a couple of reasons. One, okay, he had a hard time out there. What's that doing for his character? What's that doing at all? Starving or thirst, getting beat up, getting your book bag taken as soon as you got the book bag. It feels like this episode was just stretching that shit out. And at the end of the outcome, I'm left with the same feeling I went into this. The character moved from point A to point B, but other than being really hungry, really thirsty, I didn't get much out of that. I got some cool shit partially with the herd. I pulled some stuff from that, but how fucking bad was that? This is the first time I'm going to be a dick. Well, no, I'm usually a dick. I don't want to be, but sometimes I am. That, my God, who wrote this fucking episode? That gang just drove up to a herd, beat the horn, and then just got killed. You know what I'm saying? They even made fun of it on social media themselves afterwards. I believe I saw AMC posted, was this most ridiculous death ever, or was it just us? And it's like, well, I'm going to have to fucking agree with you because that was bad. They had the potential of they were there. They were almost there. What you saw in this episode was the first draft, okay? And if they sat down to polish it, they could have came up with something great. I rarely, almost never, bring up my old predictions. And my old predictions, which was, at this point, almost 90% correct with Nick's episode. It was a dog who bit his leg. Other than little things like that, literally beat by beat, we were able to predict in my prediction video because of the trailer. Well, not because of the trailer, but there's not much you can do with that story when you see certain clips. And it was like connecting the dots for predicting Nick. You guys saw that prediction video. When I talked about Nick realizing these people are after him and he can use this Walker herd as an army, as self-defense. You know, the realization of that, him having to use a Walker army to fight off and protect himself. When I was giving that prediction, a lot of times this isn't scripted. You know, I'm speaking from the heart, I'm shooting from the hip, so when I do my prediction videos, I'll think about some predictions, and a lot of times I am predicting on the spot, and I get so excited for the story, and I was so damn excited for that story when I was making that prediction on the spot, for the majority of that prediction, because just the idea of him using it as a self-defense, being forced into that position, wow, that would have been amazing character development. It would have been interesting. There would have been tension there writing the scene. It wouldn't have seemed so damn dumb, but then it ended up being so damn dumb. They just pulled up, they beeped the horn a little bit, started shooting, and then he made eye contact with Nick, and it threw him off his game a little bit, you know? Imagine incorporating something where they were going after him, they were hunting him down, and they thought he, you know, just slipped away, and they're like, okay, let's plow through this herd, and we get this little bastard slipped away, we got him, you know? And then here, nope, he's in the middle of the herd. They could have even edited it to where he's got this, you know, he's almost there. Walker's getting close, doesn't matter, he knows what he's doing. He looks up, boom, makes contact with Nick, fucks them all up, drops his shit. The Walker's already like right there. Before he was chill because he got this. And then Nick just throws him off his game. In this one, we have the Walkers a football field away. I see you guys. You coming? Okay. I'm going to load my gun. And then he looks, makes eye contact, looks at the bullet, looks back, you know, looks at the bullets, and then he drops the bullets, looks back, makes a bunch of faces. By that point in time, between the writing, the way they crafted the story, and the editing, oh my God, I was like, he's not really dying right now, is he? Why isn't he running? Why isn't he doing anything? Anything at all. Literally anything at all. I don't fucking know. Anyway, so there's some shit like that. And then what do we have? We have him in this new group, and he's looking for a group that has the same kind of philosophy as Celia did. I don't know. To be honest, I don't like that storyline, plot line. Oh, the flashbacks. Let's talk about that. Because the flashbacks, they were actually something very positive. When I saw a little image, like a promo image of Gloria sitting there, I believe that's her name, right? I'm almost positive that's what they used as her name for interviews, if you want to know where I got that from. They used that for interviews in season 1. I love the idea of having flashbacks. My problem is, didn't it feel like, whoops, we can't fill up this whole episode with whatever. I'm wondering why we didn't get this development in season 1. It honestly, and I will argue to the death at this moment unless someone can point out something different, it honestly would not have affected the story if that flashback was just plopped here, because they needed more material, because it was a bottle episode, because we're not jumping around and seeing the other characters, which is disappointing. It makes it feel diluted. It really does. AMC needs to stop with the bottle episodes. And I'm saying that and not the writers, because I truly feel the bottle episodes are pushed down from corporate as a way to manage the budget, to stretch out the budget as much as they can. Because believe it or not, between the transition that AMC did as a company, they need Walking Dead's money, or they needed it from the very beginning, to build AMC and make it something different. Which, if it gives us good original, you know, content, fucking do it. I want you to do it. You know what I mean? But don't, you know, don't hurt the biggest shows you got right now because of it. Like, in my opinion, I feel like if they would have polished the story a little better, got rid of the bottle episodes, and just tightened it up somewhat, you would have those 10 million viewers. There's a reason you don't have 10 million viewers tuning in. You should not have 10 million viewers tuning in on an episode. But anyway, yeah, flashbacks. If I could just sum up the flashbacks, I would have to say that I personally enjoy them. I like flashbacks, even if it doesn't tie into the story, if they're solely there for character development. So I support it, but it's hard for it not to feel like it's a desperate move to fill up the material, and it's also a desperate move to add more likability to the characters. Because unfortunately, and this is where I do disagree, I like the actors playing the cast, and the cast gets beat up a lot. The cast really does get beat up a lot. In the fan base, there's a ton of fans that just says they're unlikable. They are truly unlikable. And I understand partially what they mean based off the story alone. I love the cast. I'll put it that way. I love the cast, and I don't give a shit who hates me for it. I love the cast from their previous work. I know their range, and I know what they can and can't do as far as their abilities, and I think they're doing a great job with what they have to work from. But certain things, like if there's a certain, if there's a certain part of Madison's story that's rugged, that they're hiding, that they want to reveal later on, I think they're holding it off a little bit too long at this point. And it's her and her connection between her as a character and the fans, because she's being built up as a really unlikable character for the majority of the fan base. And now we are going to talk about hashtag Fear the Fair Use. This is a little rocky. I got a lot of fans that aren't keeping up with the hashtag Fear the Fair Use stuff, so they have no clue why I didn't review Fear the Walking Dead the moment it came out, why there's no prediction videos, why there's no breakdown videos. As of right now, prediction videos, breakdown videos, those are, I don't know. I honestly don't know. What it is right now, if I break down the trailer and show you images, AMC claims the video taking the ad revenue. Now again, I could simply make a different video and they'll leave me alone. That's not Fear the Walking Dead, and I could keep the ad revenue. So it benefits me to stay away from Fear the Walking Dead. Don't get mad at me. Get mad at AMC or their social media account. They're the ones who are doing it. I am working on fighting the claims. The problem, though, is for the future, is this going to keep happening? And if it is, then I will continue to distance myself. I will discuss the reviews, but they will not be priority. I'll tell you right now, when the episode aired this past Sunday night, I was very busy editing a comic cover video. That comic cover video, it does not get a lot of views like reviews do. It might max out at 6,000 views. That's a couple dollars I'll make off of days and hours and hours and hours of editing. I'll make $5 off those videos, and I shit you not. I make them because I have at least 2,000 of you who are pleading for the past 6 months for me to make a new comic cover video. I do that like as a gift for you guys, and to be honest, I love doing them. There's a lot involved, but for me, it's fun. It's rewarding. Imagine, it's not just me sitting here, turning on the camera, talking a little bit, and then uploading it. It's so easy. When you guys love them, it's nice, but when you take your, time and hours and hours and hours piecing together, writing a script, piecing together these images, a lot of times there's fine-tuned editing I do with the images that you might never notice. I will go into a picture, blur out some parts of the image, highlight others, put a glow around certain images, or I'll even go in and retrace. Like I went in on a Rick Grimes, one of the images, I went in and redrew it in the Photoshop by tracing it. I faded out so it was transparent. I just recolored the lines with darker, and then I faded it back up with my coloring, my black in the Photoshop, and it came out, perfect. It's so rewarding when people are like, dude, I love that video. I love that video, because like I said, hours and hours and hours went into making those videos, and I love those. So that's why I did that video, and I didn't do the Fear one. So again, if I have the time at the moment, I will do the Fear the Walking Dead videos. However, I'm still spreading word of mouth on Fear the Fair Use. And at this point in time, AMC, once I started bitching and moaning, AMC stopped claiming the copyright videos. But you have to understand, I also stopped putting images in the videos. So did they stop or what? I know they were claiming older videos, and that's still up in the air. Consider this a compromise between me and the viewer base out there. I don't know what's going on with AMC until they reach out and say something. I don't care if it's just a little post on Twitter or Facebook, or if they contact some other YouTuber and say, hey, spread this message around to other YouTubers. I don't care. Until they actually reach out and say what's going on and say they're going to stop falsely claiming certain videos, and I'm talking about the videos they have no right to claim. If they have a right to claim it, good. Until they do that, we have really no idea what's going on. So I'm going to continue the hashtag Fear the Fair Use. But AMC, and Fear the Walking Dead will not be a priority on this channel. The Walking Dead is a giant. I tried explaining this before. A couple people didn't get it. The majority of people get it, but The Walking Dead is so big, even if you made a stance and say, I'm boycotting The Walking Dead, whoop-de-whoop, it wouldn't even make the news because it wouldn't even make a dent. But when you look at Fear the Walking Dead, who just can't hold its viewer base when it should easily hold it, that might actually make the news. That might get people talking. That might get attention. It might help spread the word of mouth that AMC and the social media department is negatively affecting, their own company because it is. For the compromise, it's not going to be priority on this channel if I'm busy. If I'm doing a different video, Fear the Walking Dead, the review will have to wait until I'm not busy and I'm free and I can do the review. And I'm only doing the review for the people who want it. Now, as far as the breakdowns, the trailers, the teasers, all that other shit, I just can't do the majority of those without images to show you what I'm talking about. In that case, I'm doing a different video, and I'm not going to help promote AMC and Fear the Walking Dead anymore. Yeah, they annoyed me a little bit. Listen, I rambled on. I'm going to give you a nice long video. I hope you enjoy it. If you made it this far, please let me know. Put your thoughts and opinions in the comment box about everything we talked about. If you're mad at me because I'm not doing Fear the Walking Dead as much as you want, I'm really sorry, but it is what it is until we can fix it. Sorry. Thoughts and opinions down below. I'm done talking. It's your turn. Subscribe now.